You remember that moment when you thought everything was finally going to work out? Gohan had just awakened a power no one imagined could exist. The old Kai spent over 20 hours releasing a hidden potential that transformed that young half-Saiyan into something completely different. It wasn't Super Saiyan. It wasn't some transformation with golden hair or electric aura. It was simply Gohan in his purest and most devastating state possible. And when he stepped onto that battlefield, everyone felt it. Majin Buu, that creature who had slaughtered practically every warrior on Earth, who had absorbed Gotenks and Piccolo, who seemed absolutely invincible, suddenly looked like a scared child facing a monster. Close your eyes for a second and try to put yourself in the shoes of someone watching this for the first time. For weeks, we watched Buu destroy everything, watched Vegeta sacrifice himself in vain, watched Goku admit he couldn't win, watched the fusion fail at the most critical moment, and then Gohan appears, walking with a disturbing calmness, and simply humiliates the villain who seemed like the end of everything. Every punch Gohan landed carried the weight of all those previous defeats. Every perfect dodge showed an absolute control we'd never seen in him before. This wasn't the boy who cried during battles anymore, who needed Goku screaming in his ear to react. This was a complete warrior. And for a few glorious minutes, Hopi returned. You know that feeling of relief when you finally see the light at the end of the tunnel? When the hero you were rooting for shows up and starts turning things around. The emotion of watching Gohan dominate Buu was exactly that multiplied by 1,000. But then something happened that changed everything. Majin Buu wasn't just strong. He was cunning in a way nobody expected. While getting beaten, while being tossed around like a rag doll, that alien mind was calculating, observing, waiting. And Gohan made the most human mistake possible. He hesitated. At the moment, he should have eliminated Buu once and for all. Gohan let the situation drag on. Maybe out of overconfidence, maybe because part of him was still that boy who didn't like hurting anyone, maybe because he simply underestimated the enemy's ability to adapt, and Buu took advantage of every second of that hesitation. Think about the irony of this. The ultimate power, the maximum potential of a warrior carrying the blood of two races. Wasted not because of physical weakness, but because of a character flaw. Gohan had absolutely everything to win, and he still lost. The absorption happened so fast there was barely time to process it. In an instant, Buu enveloped Gohan with that grotesque pink mass. And when he emerged again, he was no longer the same being. He had transformed into something far more terrifying. His eyes gained a calculating coldness. His body became more defined, more athletic. And the key, the key was terrifying. That monster now carried within himself not just Gotenks and Piccolo, but also the most powerful warrior that existed at that moment. All of Gohan's combat wisdom, all that unlocked potential, now served the villain. Take a deep breath and let that reality sink in. The ultimate hero wasn't defeated in combat. He was consumed, swallowed, transformed into fuel for the enemy to become even stronger. Everything the old Kai worked to awaken, all those hours of ritual, all the hope placed in Gohan, became a weapon in Buu's hands. And the worst part, it was Gohan's own fault. There is no greater pain than the defeat you built yourself when you know you had all the tools to win and still let it slip away. When you look back and can identify exactly the moment you could have done things differently. Gohan had at least 3 clear opportunities to eliminate Buu before the absorption. And in all of them, he chose to wait, to play around, to show superiority. Arrogance is a silent poison that kills slowly This moment in the Dragon Ball Z saga is much more than a plot twist. It's a brutal lesson about the consequences of not acting when opportunity appears, about how pure talent, without discipline and determination to see things through, can become completely useless. And on that battlefield, that promise was broken in a way that still echoes in the memory of everyone who watched. But maybe that's exactly what makes this moment so memorable. Because perfect heroes are boring. Easy victories don't stick in your memory. The failures, the moments when everything seemed guaranteed and suddenly collapsed. Gohan's defeat didn't diminish him as a character. Actually, it humanized him. It showed that even the most powerful warrior in the universe still carries within himself the same weaknesses everyone has: fear, doubt, overconfidence, and that connects in a way that infinite power never could. When Buu absorbed Gohan, he didn't just absorb power, he absorbed dreams, expectations, years of development of a character we watched grow up since childhood. All of that was swallowed in those few seconds of carelessness. The final scene of this moment is one of silent sadness. The devastated battlefield, the few survivors watching in horror, and Buu, stronger than ever, smiling with the certainty that now nothing could stop him, except there was still someone. But that's another story.